Hey, what up, guys? This is Teacher Ken. Today, I have a lesson that I have to admit is very exciting for me as a teacher. I know that wish as a verb is something that is difficult to conjugate. People have difficulties using wish in the correct form. And I think this is going to be the first episode in which I speak freely about grammar. For advanced students. And I just hope that you guys enjoy the knowledge that is going to be within this class. All right. When we talk about wish as an action is different from most others. Okay. Because when you wish for something, you are wishing for something that is not real. And when you use the verb wish, you are saying that it's not real. And because of that, the way that you express yourself has to be different. The best way I can explain it in one phrase is that because wishing is not for the truth, it goes one tense to the past. And I know that sounds a little weird. Let me just go ahead and clarify a little bit more how this works. Let's go to page 234 on the English sentence structure book. That is going to be page 247 on the PDF. And remember that it's completely free. It's available on all of my social media and pretty much everywhere. Okay. Let's take a look at this example right here. Tom doesn't live in the city. This is a reality. Tom just doesn't live in the city. But he wishes something different from his reality. When we are using wish, that means that we go from present to past. And yes, I know, it just sounds odd. But the reason why it makes sense is because it is not real. The discipline of changing it to one tense back is what makes it difficult to conjugate. So if I am wishing about a situation that would be in present tense, but it's not real, I have to speak in past. And if I want to wish for something that is in the future, I don't use the future tense because, again, I am wishing. I speak in present. And in many cases, we can move it to the past as well. I don't want to make it very confusing for you guys. So I'm just going to go down and show you a few examples. Starting with this one here. We already saw that Tom doesn't live in the city. So the wish statement would be, I wish Tom lived in the city. Let's continue right here. It says, I wish I were in Paris. And there is something very interesting about this word. With wish, the verb to be is mostly were. Okay? It's not very common to say, I wish I was. It's okay, but it is better to use were. It's just part of the most frequent use, let's say. So, even if I am saying I or he, it is always were. I wish I were a doctor. I wish he were here. That does remind me of a very old Avril Lavigne song that is called I Wish You Were Here. And I just want to clarify how that were is not going to change even if I am saying he. I wish he were here. If you say I wish he was here, people will understand, but it's not the most common way. Anyhow, I think I went a little bit too long on that one. Let's go to the additional examples right here. And after that, we will go right to the exercise that I want us to practice. So, very simple. Repeat after me. My father works in an office all the time. I wish he worked outdoors. I wish the other people spoke as clearly as you do. My wife is a wonderful dancer. I wish she were also a good cook. I wish we didn't have to go out tonight. Anne wishes that she could drive a tractor. We can only get to the stadium on foot. I wish we could get there by bus. They won't help us. I wish they would help us. The weather is awful. I wish the rain would stop. Now, take a look at a few notes right here on the same page. When we are talking about something that was thought with abilities and in reality would use can, when wishing, we use could. The same will happen with will. If I am wishing for something that is in the future, I go back 1/10 and I use would. Let me see if we can, yes, right here. No, this one is not so difficult. Yes. Okay, so we're going to do two exercises actually. We're going to do, yes, exercises 6 and 7. This will be a long exercise. Actually, yeah, let's do exercise 7. And in exercise 7, we're going to wish of, let's say, the opposite description, okay? To make it easier for you to understand what to change. We are not going to change affirmative for negative. We're going to remain and we're going to change one description for an opposite description. So on exercise 7, it says, I think this pattern is difficult. I wish it were easy. I heard that classes begin early. I wish they began late. I believe that Mrs. Smith is sick. What do you wish? I wish she were feeling well. Repeat. Yes, I will say it again. I wish she were feeling well. You can also say, I wish she were healthy. Number 2. I understand that the streets downtown are narrow. What do you wish? I wish they were wide. Number 3. I discovered that Professor Jones speaks fast. I wish he spoke slow. Or, I wish he spoke more slowly. I discovered that Professor Jones speaks fast. And then, starting on number 4, I'm going to make sure that I say them without stopping. I need to get your ear fluency on point. So, I think that John's father is old and weak. I wish he were young and strong. I imagine that Mary feels sad. I wish she felt happy. Or I wish she felt different. Number 6. I heard that the store is closed. I wish it were open. I believe that the exam is hard. I wish it were easy. I think that John's answer is wrong. I wish it were right. I think that this tea is weak. I wish it were strong. Okay, right now, I am also going live on TikTok. I'm going to take just a moment. Guys, do we have any questions? Let's see. I'm just going to give you guys a few seconds to say yes if you have a question. If not, let's just continue with exercise 8. We continue wishing, but now we're going to wish for the negative and we maintain the adjective or the description, okay? So the examples say, books are expensive, sorry. Books are expensive. I wish they weren't expensive. So remember, you're going to use the negative and you have to change from one tense to the correct tense because you're wishing, okay? So, Mr. Miller is sick. I wish he weren't sick. He has a sore throat. I wish he didn't have a sore throat. Books are expensive. What do you wish? I wish they weren't expensive. You work at night. I wish you didn't work at night. The children will play in the street. I wish they wouldn't play in the street. The bus leaves at 6 a.m. What do you wish? I wish it didn't leave at 6 a.m. It's going to rain today. I wish it weren't going to rain today. There's going to be an examination tomorrow. I wish there weren't going to be an examination tomorrow. I will say it one more time. I wish there weren't going to be an examination tomorrow. Okay, number 7. It's necessary to practice every day. I wish it weren't necessary to practice every day. George has to write a lot of letters. I wish he didn't have to write a lot of letters. I hope you did not say, I wish George hasn't to write. Remember that in this case, the action is not has. The action is write. I want to do exercise 9, and I know that this class has taken a little bit longer than usual. I apologize. But I just want to go over this because it's a great way to check the negative contracted ending forms. So, Joe will help us. I wish he wouldn't. Joe can sing. I wish he couldn't. Joe's a doctor. I wish he weren't. Joe has a motorcycle. I wish he didn't. Joe will go with you. I wish he wouldn't. Joe lives on our street. I wish he didn't. Joe's a piano player. I wish he weren't. Joe feels very sad. I wish he didn't. Joe will lend you money. I wish he wouldn't. Joe's hungry. I wish he weren't. Joe knows your name. I wish he didn't. Joe will leave tomorrow. I wish he wouldn't. Joe can play the violin. I wish he couldn't. Joe has a beautiful secretary. I wish he didn't. I'm not jelly. I'm just saying. Okay, guys. Now, just to remember, when we're using wish, we're speaking about a situation that we know is different from the past. And because we know it's different from the past, I mean, it's different from reality, I wanted to say, because we know it's different from reality, we have to move it 1/10 backwards. Present moves to simple past. Will goes to would. Can goes to could. And in the next class, you will see that the past goes to past perfect. But I don't want to, overwhelm you with information for now. I hope that you enjoyed this practice. Remember, you can practice and repeat this exercise as many times as you would like. I would also like to invite you to watch the exercises on the YouTube channel and share this podcast with anyone and everyone that you know that is interested in learning or improving their English. One last favor. Rate this podcast. When you rate the podcast, you help me become visible to other people that are interested in similar topics. And the last thing that I would like to say, you already know. English is easy. You already understand it. You just need to practice, right? See you next class.